Today we're going to take a look at differentiation. The title is Differentiation Made Easier with Gemini. Not easy. Careful when using those words, easier, because we should still be using our HI. We should still be iterating and thinking, all of those things that really make us human and make us great educators. So 3 ways today. Number 1, we're going to take a look at Gemini's integration within Google Classroom. All of those tools that can help us level text, that can personalize learning, that can give students the different modalities that they learn best with, all of those things available for you in Google Classroom. And then third, this is the wow. This is where we're going to use Gemini and the tool, the Canva tool. Different than Canva, it's Canvas tool, not Canva. This is a tool that enables us to create web apps or interactive websites. And today, I'm going to show you how I created a web app that takes a teacher's lesson or just takes a teacher's idea and then gives them differentiation strategies or ideas to incorporate into their lesson. So let's take a look at 3 things that we can do in the Gemini environment. And since we're talking about differentiation, choose to take some notes, or choose to just play this back as much as you want, or choose just to close your eyes and listen, whatever works for you. All right, enjoy. Differentiation made easier using Gemini. And differentiate your content using Gemini that's embedded within Google Classroom. So when you open up your Google Classroom, you're going to see over on the left panel that there's now a Gemini icon. If you click that, you get a host of great quick start buttons that can assist you in creating content that's accessible for every student in the classroom. So as you can see within this, we have the ability to filter out the different tools. So if we want to support students, we can do things like re-leveling text. So you can have a target grade level. You can either upload the text from your drive, or you can just copy and paste text directly in here. I really like the fact that you have this tool here at the bottom that allows you to maintain the integrity of whatever you're using to re-level. So sometimes it will re-level text and make words that are key vocabulary words disappear. We don't want that. We want to continue to support our students, but we want to ensure that they're still getting the content, the standard-based words that are critical for them to learn and to grow. So you can type those keywords right in here. Let's go back and take a look at, translating text. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? There's a variety of different languages you can translate. So again, differentiating for kids is to personalize lessons. So that's another thing that AI really does well, is to take something that is content-based and then infuse it with things that students are interested in. So when you want to maybe write a story based on your content, you can target the grade level. You can see here this is your content, your topic or plot for the story, and then these additional notes. So we can make it suspenseful, or we can make it beginning reader level. We can also add genres in here to make it more enticing for students to be engaged in the content. And again, I love the keywords, so let's keep those keywords in and reinforce that vocabulary for students. If you scroll down a little bit, there's a whole bunch of ideas here. These are actually links that will take you to creating a Gemini gem. But when we're doing things like making word problems for math, we can start to incorporate, again, things that students are interested in. So if you want to revolve your story around a particular sport or video game or location, you want to include some of the student's name from your class, all of those things can be done relatively easily within this AI environment. Let's talk about different modalities of learning. So within this Gemini interface, you can build audio lessons. You can tap into those students that are visual learners by creating visual aids, visualize a concept, create an infographic. The comics are fantastic. So all of these things can be done with efficiency when you use Gemini inside of Google Classroom. Tool is using Gemini Gems. Think of Gemini Gems as your personal assistant that can do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to differentiating. We know how important that is, but finding the time is what makes it difficult. I want to show you the back end of a Gemini gem, just to show you how it would work and the type of impact it might have. So you can see that I have the name here. It's my K through 6 classroom differentiator. I want to show you a little bit of the instructions that are here. So it's an expert instructional coach and curriculum designer. The mission of this gem is to help teachers maximize student engagement and ensure that all learners, regardless of ability, can access the core curriculum. So I wanted to do certain things like leveling text, IEP alignment, instructional tailoring. You can see the way that it's going to work. It's always going to ask by first asking to provide a learning objective or a passage or the student initials that they are planning for. And we can go on. I will share this prompt that you can use on your own. And if you want to modify it, obviously you're able to do that. The power though is right here. So in the knowledge base. So what you can do is that you can include a sample roster. So here's my roster. You can see that I've removed the names. I've just changed them to initials. But perhaps I start to track this type of information early when I give personal interest inventories and I start to make my review of CUME folders. I start to create this nice database. It has the needs or challenges of each student and then the particular strength or interest, which is great because now I can take this information and when I ask Gemini for anything, so let's find an initial again. So I have, let's say BB, he likes soccer and rap music. So when I ask Gemini, create a behavior reminder chart for BB. And I just click the submit button. And it's going to remember that BB has this interest and it's going to consider his challenges when it's creating this. So I don't have to write all that in every time. It's going to recall that and create things that are tailor-made for that particular student or any of the students in your class. So here we go. So I have an engagement hook. I have my behavior chart. And it's taken his interest in soccer and created that in the behavior chart. I have some visual aids and I can continue to use this. Remember, this is going to work like a chat bot. So I can click the plus button here and I can have it create an image to design that chart now. As a visual appealing document, I can put on BB's desk. And let's see what comes up with. I would refine that a little bit more and say the particular grade level, so whatever image is generated is age appropriate. But you can see how a differentiator can really help you make that learning accessible and to save you some valuable time. We'll come back to this, but that's using Gemini gems to differentiate. Let's see what it came up with. It says, I've designed a colorful soccer-themed soccer challenge. It has 3 goals, and the rewards, if the student scores a hat trick or 3 goals, they get some sort of reward. And we would personalize the reward system here, but it came out really good. Let's make it full screen. Look at that. So now the student would have this on his desk. We could laminate it, and it could keep track of the goals that the student is scoring. Or maybe even use stickers. We can cross this out. He's got a hat trick. He did a great job. He gets to either play some music or he wants to go outside and play with the soccer ball. Pretty cool. Differentiating using Gemini Gem. Ambassador, I want to give you a sneak peek at another super cool thing that you can do in Gemini, and that is to vibe code, to create things that maybe you don't have that might be helpful to you. So I'm just starting this, but I have not spent a lot of time on it. I want to first show you that down there at the bottom, remember when you open up Gemini and if you want to do any kind of vibe coding, you want to click the tool that says Canvas. So that allows it to write code for you. So click that code first before doing some vibe coding. And remember, vibe coding is just using your natural language. So you can really just do just some spitballing here. I didn't write anything out. I just started typing. I'm going to expand the text here. This was my prompt. Create a differentiation factory that allows teachers to simply attach a lesson or pasted. See, I'm just spitballing here. Or a pasted theme or topic into what I'm calling the D factory. Include a drop-down menu. Checklist so teachers can select ways to identify how he or she would like their lesson differentiated, have a clean user interface, add an idea room. All of these things I just wrote on the fly. And then I just click generate, and Gemini starts to build an app or an interactive website for people to use. So we can preview it here. And it looks like it's done what I wanted to do. It explains it. It's called a differentiation engine. I love that. I didn't tell it to do that. And like I said, teacher now can just copy and paste their lesson plans directly in here. I'd also would probably add that they can connect to their Google Drive or drag in a document. They're going to click their target grade level. And then we have these, they call them differentiation vectors. So do I want content modification? How students, we can vary the process or activities, the product or assessment. So these are, I can click as many of these as I want or as few. I can select them all here. And then this is where it's going to be generated. So if I click the learner profile now here, do I need things for gifted and talented students? There are different learning modalities. So I didn't put all this in, but Gemini is building all of this for me. And then any special instructions that I want to have. So I'm going to paste in my lesson here, and then we'll come back and see how it goes. Additionally, I wanted them to build, if you remember my prompt, a place that I called an idea room. You can see it right here. And it's just a spark or ideas for teachers if they're having trouble coming up with ideas for differentiation. In the idea room, I wanted it to have a drop-down menu for the discipline, and I wanted to have a drop-down menu for grade level. and we get all these different ideas for differentiation. So if you want to do a little bit of vibe coding, you're interested in this and want to do more, I am hosting a summer PL, shameless plug, and we can also make time to do a little bit more of this. But I always get so excited about the potential of creating something that you don't have, and Gemini can help you do that. So there's your little bonus today for being an ambassador. Things shake out in here. Pretty impressive. So I'm going to put in my lesson idea. So it's going to be Renaissance Humanism for 7th grade, focusing on how humanism impacted Renaissance art, ideas, and discovery. I have my target grade level, it's middle school. And then down here, I'm going to select, I need some ESL support. I also want to have something for my gifted and talented students. And then I'll add that one. And then I just run differentiation factory, and look what happens up here. Not only is it building here, it's giving me these cool little quotes and fun facts about the importance of differentiation. Again, this is Gemini doing some thinking for me. I didn't come up with those components. And then it lays it out so nicely here. I have the content standards, tier 1, tier to tier 3, and now we're getting into the modification and some activities, my ESL support, some enrichment support, some things for tactile and kinesthetic learners, and then even a choice board. And this accommodation cheat sheet to just remind me of the things that I need to do for my students. Man, I'm pretty impressed, and I do get impressed easily, but this one is impressive. And then I can print this or just copy the text. It looks like it's still going to need some work doing that, but I can certainly copy the text. You can see it's been saved to my clipboard, and then I can paste that into a Google Doc so I have it. That's the differentiation factory created by vibe coding in Gemini.